Hello, Carmen Liana here. Just doing a update on my locks. I guess for my own journey. My locks now are 3 years old. 3 years old. Yeah. So let me just show kind of hold this phone kind of steady. Right side. I don't know if I'll be able to get the back. Really good. See? Arms kind of flexible. Let's see how long they got me. Well, they kind of swoop a little bit to the side. I know one of my earlier pictures, one of my locks would love to stand up on the top of my head. None of them stand up now. They all floppy down. Let's see. What do I do now? Well, I haven't really been using soap or I never use shampoo, but to keep them clean, I've been doing mostly water rinses, rosemary rinse. I got this bottle that I use of rosemary water sometimes when my hair feels dry, which is not really that often. My hair don't really get super dry like that, but and I just spritz it, or when I want to just fluff it up in the morning, just spritz it with some rosemary water and call it a day. And just trying to think of anything else that I do differently. That's not a whole lot. And it's been a minute since I even made a video about my hair, because I'm just like, they just hit a lot. It's not really that much to go. It's so low maintenance. I don't really think about it. It's just like it does what it wants to do. But they still kind of separated in that I had 29 locks. I still have 29 locks. And then whenever I would have like little loose hair, well, I always have loose hairs, like a lot of new locks really haven't formed. They really kind of, it just seems like they stay in that state, like the loose hair. Every once in a while, like I think it's this one. See, some loose hair. This one right here. That was some loose hair that kind of formed and merged into this lock. So, and I guess that's why it stays kind of like full. It's full to me. It's not really thick hair, but it's just kind of like spongy, like fluffy, like or whatever. So I do not twist. I do not like seeing my scalp. So so I don't twist my roots, and I feel like over time, especially when your hair gets long, I used to have locks all the way down to my waist. And I really never had that much problem with thinning, but I just don't like, it just seemed like it would cause that in a sense. Like my hair is a lot fluffier when I don't twist, and it looks just fuller and thicker. So, see up close. But I don't use oils. I don't use oils because I don't really need it. But my hair is not really like, my hair is not dry. It has its own oil. Lint. Every once in a while I have a problem with some lint, and I just do like that. Just pull it out. And then a lot of what you're saying is I have gray hair. Like I got a lot of gray hair coming in, which it's cool. I'm not gonna dye my hair. It's gonna be, it is what it is. It's natural. Yeah, so I like the size of these. These are still perfect. I have no desire to cut my hair. I know it seems like a lot of videos I've seen when people hit that five-year mark, or I guess few-year mark, or whatever mark, that people they think about cutting their hair, but I ain't thinking about it. That ain't on my mind. I done cut my hair so many times. I think I got that out of me. So I like this size. Cause I like they like as big as my fingers. Or some of them a little bit more wider. They're wide and flat, but like that. But then when you turn to the side, it's like whoop, skinny. But like that one. That one used to look like a hand, and all that kind of merged together. They wide and flat, and they light. It's really, really light. It's not heavy at all. But I've never really had a problem with weight as far as hair. Like I know I've heard some people say that their locks get heavy and they'll cut them and stuff like that. I never had that issue even when my locks were long. It's like the easiest to maintain. I don't know. So I went to yoga teacher training this past weekend. Somebody asked me, was it a lot to maintain? I was just like, I heard they were like locks were a lot to maintain. I'm like, I don't know who you talking to because I don't do nothing. I know. I guess if you're like keep them to where they're like really manicured and stuff like that. And I mean, that's cool. If that's what you want to do. That's your thing, but that ain't my thing. That's just too much work for me. I have 4 kids, and I don't have time for hair. I was wearing extensions in it, and the extensions was my nephew's hair that he cut off a few years ago. So I got some video before with the extensions attached to it. A lot of people thought that was my real hair, but if you could look a little bit closer, you can see the ridges. I stopped wearing those. So not any reason negative or nothing like that, but I just I guess my own hair is getting longer. And then another thing, I am very extremely tender-headed. I've never been able to really wear like tight braids and all that kind of stuff. Even as a kid, I can't stand a lot of pressure on my scalp. And then with the extensions, I think I clipped something. I don't remember, but I clipped one end. I kind of noticed that the thread was kind of making ridges in my original locks. And then I was wearing a bead on this lock. But you can't see it. I don't know. It kind of looks like a ridge or something like sinking in right there. Because I was wearing a bead on it. And it was making that part weak. That's the only negative I've had so far with these locks. And then I clipped like that a little bit off of that one and that one. Just a few of them because when I started these locks, I had two-strand twists. I sectioned them 2-strand twists and let them go. But some of the 2-strand twist ends were like really skinny, and then the locks when they grow out they widen up. And a lot of them I would pull when the hair started matting together as it was growing out. I would pull the 2-strand twist parts apart and just leave them alone and let it mat back together. Like see, like that one, that was a 2-strand twist, and I pulled it apart, and it's kind of like trying to mat back together. But like these ends, I like the ends blunt like that. I didn't want the 2-strand twist. So that one I think I pulled apart and it matted back and just merged in with this matting part. But my hair kind of locks kind of close to the scalp. Like I can't stick my finger up under the lock. So it naturally like kind of locks close. But it just has loose hair all over. I got a bunch of loose hair. But that's just how it is. So that's my video. 3-year-old locks. And see how they look after like 10 years. Bye.